watching Rogers TV.
Hey, welcome to Daytime Ottawa here on Rogers TV. A great show as usual, and I'm going to dive right in. Usually I mention a couple of people that are coming on the show, but we're going to dive right in because Shireen is the owner of Sublime Med Spa, and my wife and I have been going for a few months now. Actually, what is it, 6 months now?
It was February 19.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
the time flies by.
Yes.
And has been doing incredible work for your clients all throughout. You've got a beautiful brand new space.
Yes.
But let's tell everybody at home how you help your clients.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on the show again for the third time. I help my clients achieve their best skin, best health of skin. So let's say a client complaining of acne, let's say. I walk the client through a nice recovery journey, putting her on home care that takes care of cleansing, exfoliating, taming down bacteria, hydrating the skin properly to protect the skin barrier from the exfoliation, do some treatments at the clinic, which obviously I do 20% of the work and the client does the 80% at home.
What do you mean by that exactly? So you do 20%, it's up to the client. Right.
I do the treatment at the clinic and I put the client on a program that is a cleanser, exfoliator, moisturizer, and an actual treatment that would clear the concern she came to me with.
Right.
So that would be one item of her home care. She needs to do that day and night, morning and in the evening. And that takes 80% of the whole program because I see her 3 times maybe, maybe 4 times, but the rest is on her to continue doing this. And
what
sometimes
about the importance of the type of products that you are sending people home with, right? You can't just, this isn't over-the-counter products we're talking about.
It is not over-the-counter. It is all professional medical-grade products that have ingredients extracted in medical laboratories, protected and encapsulated in vehicles that penetrate the skin safely and then pop underneath and do the job. Each ingredient will do the proper job before they oxidate outside the skin, and then there's no use for them.
And this is about your skin naturally healing itself. So you're not putting anything, you're not injecting people with anything. Like tell everybody about that, because I think that's one of the most important things.
Yes, exactly. And we have experienced that with you. And actually, Monica, what I did, or what I do in general, we entice the natural healing process of the skin, which is we can do treatments like injure the skin, whether it is with microneedling, creating channels into the surface of the skin, and that triggers fibroblasts to start creating collagen, elastin in a nice basket weave, nice and tight. It takes 3 skin cycles for this basket weave to reach the surface, which would be flawless, leading you to have clear, from blemish skin, firmer, tighter, brighter, less scarring, less acne. So actually there is no injections of any Botox or fillers. It's only causing the skin to promptly heal itself, calling that collagen and elastin to start being, the fibroblasts to give birth to collagen, elastin, and reach the surface flawlessly.
So the first thing that you do, which I think is really cool, is you take sort of this, I don't even know if it's 3-dimensional. You actually look at the layers under the skin, right? With this photo of that you do.
It is the Visia skin analysis. I've done that on you. I've done that on Monica and all my clients. With the Visia skin analysis, we see the outside of the skin, which is visible in any camera, but also we see the depth of the damage inside the skin. We see multiple aspects. We see the inflammation, how much inflammation the skin has. It shows in kind of a dark red. It shows the blood vessels that are popping, showing on the surface. It shows the UV damage and how deep it is. Now, when I have a client doing her 80% at home with me, 20% at the clinic, we do a treatment, a peel or microneedling or laser genesis, which is amazing for inflammation as well. We take a picture 3 months later and we compare, and we see amazing results.
Yes.
We see the difference. We see drastic change. We see drastic difference on the skin.
Well, we've seen it on
It's
me,
the
right?
skin
Because I
analysis.
had a lot of these red veins
You
around
had
my
red
nose,
veins, you had
right?
inflamed nose. You kind of have small diffuse redness. The cheeks were red. Now they are less. Also, I had put you on a skincare routine, the BioJuve, the skin biome care,
Right.
which makes your skin regulates its own bacteria. The bacteria feeds itself from our oil and dead cells, and promote healthy skin without
Right.
injections, without Botox, and we saw a huge difference on your skin.
Well, what really has stood out to me too is the UV damage that I had on my skin, right? I'm a 70s
sun
kid,
damage.
right? Back in the 70s, there was no such thing as sunscreen. Let's be honest. I remember my mom and my aunt would sit in the backyard and put baby oil on themselves to tan, right? And as kids, we just went out.
Exactly.
Right? We were outside all the time without any protection, and so you can actually see that. So the importance of sunscreen is incredibly important, regardless of even if you do any of this, right?
Regardless, the first anti-damage and protection of the skin is zinc oxide, titanium dioxide, which is physical mineral sunscreen. Before we do any cleansing or moisturizing or vitamin C serum, just by adding a proper mineral physical sunscreen to our daily living, it's going to reduce the sun damage by some percentage and prevent from any further damage, definitely.
Okay.
And I saw that on your skin, Derek.
Yeah.
You're basically flawless. It's even skin tone. You don't have any further damage from what we had before. Redness is reduced, pigmentation is reduced.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Nice
I'm going
and
to slide
healthy.
this. I'm going to slide this over here.
Let's
all right.
do that.
Because you're going to be working on this machine. We got 2 segments with Shireen today.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about this machine.
So this machine is called Laser Genesis. It is a 1064 wavelength and diag laser. It is absorbed by the papillary dermis in the skin, so it is absorbed by where the vascularity of the skin happens.
I'll pretend I understand any of that.
It is absorbed in the dermal layer of the skin.
Okay, that part I get.
It goes really deep, and it is. As soon as it hits down deep, it's heating up the skin. So it coagulates the broken blood vessels. It coagulates collagen,
Right.
elastin, and promotes the fibroblasts to start giving birth to new collagen, elastin, and promotes healthy skin. It promotes healthy skin. What does it do? It reduces pore size, reduces redness, controls rosacea.
Okay.
Shrinks pores. I said that already. I know. Reduces fine lines and wrinkles.
She's turning
And-
to her husband right at
Yeah.
that point.
No,
Well, how much time do we have
some of
left in
them-
this segment? Well, we got 2 minutes. Okay.
But main thing
Yes.
is, with that new skin being surfacing soon, we have less lines, less wrinkles, less pores, bright, creamy complexion, and it needs to be done 6 times in
Okay.
a row.
Okay.
We see results after the 4th, but we see glow promptly.
All right. Do you need to prepare my skin in
I
any
better prepare
fashion
your
here?
skin. I need to use an antiseptic and kind of
Okay.
cleanse up the skin and make sure we are all clear.
All right.
And then we're gonna hit the road.
Okay, sounds good.
Start. Here we go. We have 2 minutes.
We're down. No, we got about like 20 seconds, but that's okay because we're gonna during the break. Shireen's going to finish preparing my skin here, and then what's this machine called again, Shireen?
Laser Genesis with the Zeo Kitera from Zeo.
You heard the lady. Laser
Kitera.
Genesis is what I'm going with. We'll be back. We're going to do a live demonstration here on the show. We'll be back with
Yes.
Shireen right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Thanks.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
I'm Sam LaPrade, and you're invited to join us for the next Hour to Give. We're going to talk all about Ottawa Salus and a very exciting campaign they have coming up, which you can get involved in. Join us then.
Kids these days, people say we lack initiative.
And technology, that we're all addicted.
Kids these days, we hear that we only care about ourselves.
Apparently, we're lazy.
and don't seem to have any sense of independence.
Actually, kids these days are facing a lot.
Because the world has changed, and so have our health issues. Kids these days, we could really use your help. Join CHIO in our biggest fundraising campaign ever to transform pediatric care.
Unscripted, uninterrupted coverage of events by Canada's business leaders, visionaries, and social figures. Watch Podium exclusively on Rogers TV.
Hi, I'm Sam LaPrade, host of Ottawa Business Matters. We're going to gather here every single week and speak about business here in the capital. We're going to inspire, influence, and inform.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back to the show. I have been completely cleansed here, and now you're putting on some kind of goggles here. I'm going to look like Michael Phelps in just a moment. Okay.
Hold.
You want me to hold these on?
There,
Okay.
just so I can apply this on
This
you
is
safely. Let's see. Is it tight?
Oh yeah. Yeah, feels
Okay,
good.
feels good. Okay, so
All right.
now I will be performing the laser genesis.
Okay.
It is a total rejuvenating treatment.
I feel I'm excited to be rejuvenated. Yes.
Let's do that.
Okay.
So you're going to feel just a slight warming sensation.
Okay.
I'm going to be heating up your skin to 41, let's say 41, 42, maybe 43
No
degrees.
pain?
No pain.
Okay.
No gain. No
Wait a
gain.
minute.
Absolutely
That's
no
different than no pain.
No pain and absolutely full of gain.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start here doing the top of your cheek.
Okay.
You will feel just a warming sensation. Everybody here is wearing goggles, so we're all safe.
Okay.
Yeah. Just a warming sensation. I'm gonna keep going back and forth.
Now my
on the
camera people
area.
have goggles, but they can see. They're not these kind of goggles,
No,
right?
not the same goggles as yours.
Okay. Oh, I
Yeah.
feel that. A little snappy.
You're a little snappy where there is hair. It is absorbed by the laser.
Okay.
That's why I'm not going to be going over your beard so we don't lose the hair on your beard because
Okay.
it will be absorbing the laser. It acts like laser hair removal.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
So as flawless as I can see your skin, it's going to be more flawless. It will be creamy complexion. The first result you have with this from one treatment is a subtle glow.
Okay.
You're going to feel your skin is heated up, plumped, swollen. Basically, the plumping comes from the swelling.
Really?
Okay.
Okay.
The swelling reduces. It's a beautiful swelling, though. The swelling
Right.
reduces after 1 hour or so. For some people, it could last till the next day, but it only shows like you've had fillers. No fillers here, but it only shows like you've had fillers. How's the heat?
Interesting.
How do you feel now?
Well, you know, it's actually the heat's not bad. I feel some popping, which I think is probably little hairs, right?
Little hairs, yes, it's absorbing the laser.
Okay.
My aim when I do laser genesis is to reduce redness, treat rosacea, shrink pore size, control acne bacteria, control oily skin.
So, Shireen, will it be red initially and then disappear?
It will be kind of a soft, flushed color, like
okay.
you've been suntanned.
Oh, okay, okay. Like
Very
I'm wearing
little.
a little blush, perhaps.
Exactly.
All right.
Little blush, but it feels great. See, we just popped some of your sideburns. Bye-bye sideburn. So
Okay.
let me see where I am. I'm gonna do 300 more pulses, and then I gave enough to your cheek.
Okay.
Here, so
does
keep
this
in
machine
mind.
count pulses then?
It count pulses, yes.
Oh, cool.
So on a regular basis, I am putting into the skin 10,000 pulses. I divide the face into 4 quadrants. and I do heat up each area to a moment that that's it. You cannot take it anymore. It is hot. But through the process, it is not painful.
Right.
And when we're reaching that hot sensation, it means we coagulated some blood vessels underneath, we awakened fibroblast, and the action of self-healing begins.
Okay. Will, how much time do we have? 3.5.
3.5. I'm going to do a segment on the forehead.
Okay.
How's it going?
I feel great. Yeah.
Yes. I do this treatment on every client that is seeking new skin, rejuvenated skin, less years showing on our forehead and cheeks, you know, from sun damage, erase sun damage. Of course, I would have to do Limelight IPL to control some pigmentation.
Before I forget, Shireen, you also have an event coming up, right? November 14th?
Yes, November 14th, I'm going to be doing an event about the CO2 carboxy mask, which I have done on you also for added hydration and skin healing after a treatment that I did last time with Limelight IPL. The event will be November 14 at 6:30 p.m. at Sublime Med Spa, 111 Colonnade, Suite 200.
So do people get in touch with you beforehand?
Yes.
Is that, they have to register,
they have to register, yes. So we have limited space. But the event will be all about the CO2 carboxy mask, talking about skin health and how the CO2 helps add hydration and promote healing on skin.
Nice.
Yes.
And that's a nice, like very relaxing experience too, isn't it?
It is a total relaxing experience, and usually it has been reducing our downtime post procedures next to none, next to nothing.
We have about 2 minutes. I don't know if you need to do the other cheek. I mean, you're the boss.
Here we go. I'm gonna pass, and I need you to turn to me just like that.
I can hear my cameraman giggling. Do you hear him? Yeah, I can hear you, Ken, giggling over there.
How is that, Derek?
No, it feels good.
Amazing.
I feel some pops, which is fine.
Exactly. I love to finish.
We should do this to Ken next time you come on the show, my cameraman.
We shall.
Hey?
I just want to add something about the CO2. When we used to do Limelight IPL and then Laser Genesis followed by Limelight IPL for a two-dimensional rejuvenation, and the skin goes into what do you call it? Oh my God, the words are escaping me.
That's okay.
Coffee grind situation.
Okay.
It used to take 6 to 8 days for the skin to heal up and be flawless. Now with the carboxy mask, now we reduce it to at least, a maximum of 3 days.
Really?
Maximum of 3 days, yeah.
So after this is done, what should I be doing when I get home today?
When you get home today, you're gonna do nothing.
Okay.
Like usual, I apply your post-treatment care, which is the reparative moisturizer from IS Clinical, and I will apply a non-tinted sunscreen that you're going to be able to sleep with that tonight. I wouldn't
What I will tell everybody at home, by the way, is Shireen will send you home with all of the instructions that you need, so you don't have to try to memorize everything.
No,
before you leave.
Exactly. And I bug you every day on, hi, how are you? What's it going? I
appreciate those notes.
Yes. There we go. So I did a full set on the cheeks and forehead.
We are down to 5 seconds, so I'm going to take these off.
I'm going to take these off.
Get in touch with Shireen. By the way, follow her on Instagram because you'll see some incredible before and after procedures. It'll blow your mind. We'll be back with more Daytime right after this.
Welcome to Community News and Events. I'm Dave Hilson. As the city prepares its 2025 budget, the Ottawa Food Bank encourages you to join a councillor-led public consultation where you can share your thoughts on food security. It's a unique opportunity to get your voice out and advocate for crucial change and help make our city more food secure. For scheduling and more information, visit ottawafoodbank.ca. You can also visit ottawa.ca for the 2025 draft budget consultations and also see updated information regarding beaches, parking, and open-air fire permits. Lastly, the Ottawa not-for-profit 613 Flea will be happening October 26th at Lansdowne Park. It's free to attend and has over 140 vendors providing a wide variety of items from clothing to comics and, of course, some great food. Meanwhile, watch Derek Fage's Daytime weekdays at 2 p.m. on Rogers TV 22.
Join us for Season 4 of Simply Cooking by Chef, Sunday nights at 8 o'clock, right here on Rogers TV.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
Oh my goodness, that was fun. I just love doing this show because you get to experience so many different things. And there she is. You just saw her head right there. Leanne Lacroix joining me, interior stylist and decorator with Leanne Lacroix and Associates. And today we're talking a little Halloween. But you know what I love that we're going to really talk about is not making it too tacky, right? Because there's people out there that are like, oh, I like the holiday. I like getting into it, but I don't want to go all out like I see some people do, right? And that's what we're going to sort of focus on today.
Yeah, because I love the idea of Halloween, but I don't necessarily like that, when it's like intense.
Right.
It's like people that are intense into Christmas, and then there's those, like, I think it's something like 30 billion. It's some crazy number that the dollars are for Halloween.
Oh yeah, it's
huge.
insane now. It's second to Christmas, and it's closing in.
Yes.
Of what people can spend, like what people spend their money on.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you've probably been there. You drive by houses now.
Yeah.
There's like skeletons that seem to be like 25 feet tall, and
they're
all these blow up things and so forth, which is fun.
Oh,
right? For sure.
It is amazing. I don't know where they store all this stuff. That's what I'm fascinated by. It's like, where are you storing all this stuff?
Where do you store the 20-foot skeleton?
Yeah, there's got to be. I think it's diamond storage. Like, I think they're in there, and that's what they're storing is all this stuff, because I have difficulty storing this. So, but I just think that, like other holidays, you don't have to overdo it if you don't want to, and you want to still have that feeling and that vibe in your house that you're participating in it, especially if you have smaller kids. I mean, you can go a little bit crazy. I tended to go a little bit more crazy when my son was younger, and that was more fun. But now, and people that are downsizing as well. Like,
I was going to say, like if you're in a condo or an apartment building, you mentioned storage. You don't have a lot of storage, but you still want to infuse some of that Halloween into your decor, right?
And there are simple things to do. And I mean, one of the things that I really just want, it's a key point, is that if you do want to incorporate the design of it and you don't want it to look tacky, is just like the same design concepts, is keep it consistent throughout your house, the color that you're using.
Okay.
So I think people tend not to do that with Halloween. They really understand that with Christmas now. Before, Christmas was just like crazy. There was just elves everywhere, and blue and purple and green. And
guilty as charged, right? Even the tree was like just insanity.
But wasn't that fun growing up?
Oh yeah, for sure.
All those colorful lights. When I think back about that, that is just like really, it's just a fun period. But now we've become so educated when it comes to decor, and people are so into it. They just want it to blend. They want it to flow. So really just treat it like you're decorating your house with, like, say, cushions or throws or curtains, that you have a color palette. So stay with a color palette like this one. We've got the white ghost, we've got the orange, and if you notice, the mushrooms, we're reusing those
I love it.
See, they're being reused from Thanksgiving.
Time, I have to say this, last time Leanne came on the show, and by the way, follow her on Facebook because you'll see some other amazing things, but last time you came on, you showed and told people how to make these little mushrooms, and I went home, and Monica and I were like, okay, we're going to do this. And we had a great time, right? It's like we're, couples doing little crafts together. It was so much fun.
I was so happy to see you do that, because people, that's another thing about these items that are here. They're so simple. simple. A lot of the times it's pieces that you would have hopefully in your home. They're not, you can go foraging out into the forest, going for walks with kids. Even if you're just walking the dog, you can pick up these things.
Yeah.
And then if you did want to, you know, get rid of them or donate them afterwards, there's not a huge expense applied to it.
Right.
So, I mean, people need to get back to creating things. It's so easy to buy. It's so easy to go to discount stores. It's so easy just to go, oh yeah, I'm going to go spend $100 and buy it. But there is something, as you felt, there's something so rewarding when you sit down and you create something and it's yours. You're looking at it, I made that.
Well, not only that, Leanne, like it's so refreshing to hear from an interior stylist and decorator that it's not all about spending a ton of money on, you know, redoing your whole house from top to bottom. Is you're actually bringing in people's design, DIY projects that either you do or you do them together. I mean, I think that is incredibly refreshing.
Well,
you don't see it often.
No, because
right?
it's much easier just to spend money and save time and just do it. But I really do encourage people to try it because I've heard it 100 times over in the 30 years. I'm not creative. I wish I could do what you do. Oh, it's so easy for you. No, you just have to sit down, and sometimes it's really ugly at the beginning, but you have to go through it. You have to go through the steps, and you have to finish it, because once you're finished it, that's when it turns into something completely different.
Well, and I'm the perfect example because I'm intimidated by the arts. You know, I mean, I grew up a theater person, but when it comes to, you know, sculpting and painting and things like that, where my wife is really good at it, my daughter's really good. And then, you know, Monica is like, oh, we're going to paint gnomes, you know, at Christmas with the family. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's going to be a disaster. And it turned out pretty good.
Yeah, and your mushrooms were beautiful. You had a nice Thanksgiving setting. It was so great. But these ghosts, I've been making, no word of a lie, almost 30 years. I can remember my son must have been 3 years old, and I had my aunt come down from Toronto because she had seen them. My mom sent her a picture, and she wanted to make them. I've been making them forever. Now there's a big thing. Oh, they're just all over the place. People are making these cheesecloth, you know, ghosts. But
so that's what it is.
It's
cheesecloth.
It's cheesecloth and glue. I mean, if you wanted to make one, we could make one.
Yeah, let's make one. Yeah, absolutely.
It's really, really easy. You just either take glue. Of course, I don't have the water. I forgot the water, but I can still do it.
We can get maybe some water during the break. If Arthur, you're listening out there in the green room, and we get a little cup of water.
But
perfect.
You're just really taking the cheesecloth. I mean, I can just pretend. We'll just demonstrate. Okay, but you're just, seriously, it's equal parts of glue and water. Some people have used decoupage. If you want a more floaty one, you can use that. But the ones that are a little bit more stiffer, you can use a fabric stiffener or years ago, I used to use I can't remember the ratio of what it was, but it was a flour and water. It was like a glue.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes, we used to use that for a lot of crafts. So you just literally put it in, dip it, squeeze it. And what I would suggest is, if you're going to do something like this, these ones are on candlesticks, okay? So that is something that they just look like they're elevated and they're floating, and it's really quite fun. But if you wanted to do one, I have another one that's maybe I'll grab it.
Pause there, because we've got another segment coming back with Leanne. So we'll be back with Leanne, tell you a little bit more of that, and Leanne can finish her thought. We'll be back with more right after this.
Kids these days, people say we lack initiative.
And technology, that we're all addicted.
Kids these days, we hear that we only care about ourselves. Apparently, we're lazy.
And don't seem to have any sense of independence. Actually, kids these days are facing a lot.
Because the world has changed, and so have our health issues. Kids these days, we could really use your help. Join CHIO in our biggest fundraising campaign ever to transform pediatric care.
This week on Canada Files, a true Canadian hero, Rick Hansen. How he took a personal tragedy and made it into a lifelong mission for people with disabilities.
Learn all about the creation of the National Capital Region on The History of Ottawa, according to Phil Jenkins, on Rogers TV.
Donations to the War Amp helps have a lasting impact on amputees. Today, your support gives them the artificial limbs and resources they need for everyday activities and learning to live with amputation. Having access to our essential programs helps amputees prepare for tomorrow on their road to independence. The War Amps is committed to improving the quality of life for Canadian amputees, but this wouldn't be possible without you. To learn how your donation helps, visit waramps.ca.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
It's a new season of The New Fly Fisher on Rogers TV.
All right, we are back with Leanne Lacroix. Let's just dive back in. So we didn't have time to grab the water, but the idea was...
You just put it in and you squeeze it out.
Equal parts.
And you shape them. So you look at this one, like you measure it. So you go, oh, I want a long one, and then cut them, because that's how you'll want to determine what height they are.
Nice.
And really, it's so simple. The kids will love this, because what you do is you take any kind of shape, like a bottle.
Okay.
The champagne bottles are quite nice, and it's a good reason to drink champagne, because the height.
I was going to say, she brings the Veuve Clicquot bottle along with her. Nice.
So it shapes. That's how you get the nice long ones. It's hard to get really high unless you have a vase at home or something, but I had these bottles. So you just get different shapes, because you do want them in different proportions, and I cover everything in just like a plastic wrap. And then this is just a ball. People have done them with balloons. I think, again, it all gets complicated. Just get the kids to go around and get tin foil. Exactly. Cover it. I mean, these are just
the little twist tie things there.
Yes.
I forget what they're... Pipes.
Pipe cleaners.
Pipe cleaners, thank you.
So those are just to extend the arms if you want arms, because these ghosts, they could hold if you wanted little pumpkins in their hands if you wanted. That one has bones. She's carrying a little set of bones, you know?
Yeah, I see.
So you can have hands if you want.
And look at this cloche.
But this is, and those,
this is next level here.
Those are little, like this was sitting on this with a little ball on top. Okay. So then you, again, just let them dry. The weekend was so beautiful with the weather. Everything just dried like that. Sometimes in the house it might take 48 hours or so. Depends, again, how many layers you put on it and how thick it is.
And then this is fishing line to hang them?
Fishing line that's just glued to the top. And then I took the mushrooms again and just some moss that I had and some little dried flowers. And on the dining room table, or if you have like an entrance, in the foyer.
Little table in the foyer.
I mean, so sweet. And it's, again, it'd be very, very easy. When they dry, they pop right off the plastic, and then you just create whatever it is that you want to create with. But it really is. I mean, it's $2 for the cheesecloth. If you go to my site, I'll have the connections to all this stuff, and then you'll know.
Leanne Lacroix and Associates on Facebook, everybody.
And then I'll have
Let's
more.
move over to here. What have you got here?
Okay, so spray paint, as I've said 1,000 times, is your best friend.
Yes.
Okay, you're my best friend, but it's my best friend. Because anything you don't like, you can paint it. So these came, I couldn't just find black spiders. I didn't want, glittery ones. Just everything. Anything that's not the color you want, I spray painted the top, spray paint the whatever. So always have a good can of spray paint with whatever in your color thing.
Right. And they have everything now.
Every color.
Every color possible. It's amazing.
Yeah. So this is a really little fun one. It's just deodorizer that you get for
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it looks like eggs, doesn't it? It looks like spider eggs. So I'm just shoving her in there, but whoops, and they're bouncing around. Sorry, guys. Sorry, camera guys.
Don't be sorry. It's okay.
But this is great. Like, again, you could have this in your bathroom, because that's what it's for. It's a bathroom sort of deodorizer, and you can have that on the floor. But again, you're getting the feel like it's pretty creepy, and it looks like her eggs, and you could add more and stick them all, the spiders inside.
You can have the babies starting to come out kind of idea.
And again, that's a few dollars, but it's really fun, easy to do, and very effective. And then you just have all the spiders creeping. You can stick some on the outside if you wanted. And that's, again, just really fun, simple, affordable, and easy. And more than likely, I mean, you might have that already in your house. Just stick it in a jar that you can see
Right.
it. These things, okay, so again, very fun to do.
That's really cool.
You get a bag of the eyeballs, right?
Probably at the dollar store,
yes,
right?
And they're everywhere. This is, what I love about this, I've been doing this again, different from water. It's Jell-O. And the reason why Jell-O, and I stick the little pasta shells, the little tiny soup ones, and then you can put the other little chicken noodle soup ones, because then it starts to look like brain. It really, because the chunkiness of it, because the water, I find when I put a light inside it, it illuminates. So you can put a little drop of paint in it, and it's really cool. But when you do these in a bigger version, I did smaller just to show you, but when you do it in a big apothecary jar, and this is again when you go to the charity shops, you get some cool jars and get some cool lids, and you fill it up with that, and some can be bones, some can be, you know, the little skull heads, and it looks like really creepy and gory.
Love it.
Yeah. So this is just to go back to our design idea. So I had these little houses. They were silver, like a chrome color.
Okay.
But again, I just spray painted them.
Right.
And then I added little, you know, just the little fairy lights that you buy.
Right, yeah.
So the little, you know, and they come in different colors. And you just creep it out a little. So I just added the little creepy roses with the eyeballs, because I've got some eyeballs happening already.
Nice.
And just added some spiders, some crows, very simple little things to have. And then made myself a little headpiece, you know, because that matches.
Oh, that is great.
And I mean, but this is how you can add something that's really simple that you've taken from your decor already.
Is this the same as the cloth that we used earlier?
Well, this came, it came, like, seriously, that was really inexpensive, because there was that in it and a sign or something else. And for $1.50, you know, you can add that, even if you just had some, you know, nice hurricane lamps, and you just put, you know, that around it, and then maybe put some pumpkins in it or some bones around your candles. So, I mean, you can still get the feeling that it's Halloween and creepy, but you don't have to be, you know, all over the place with the gaudiness of it if you're not into gaudy.
Again, you mentioned, you know, this front entrance, that would be great in a front entrance.
Yes.
Maybe, I don't know, if you have a large mantle, something like that.
Yes.
Right? Even your centerpiece, right?
Well, I forgot it over there, but I'll tell you about it, okay? So it's so creepy. It's The Nun. I guess somebody told me there's a movie out, The Nun or something. But they are plastic, and you stick them in your mirror. So even that, I mean, if I walked into a house and saw that creepy face looking at me through a mirror, I mean, there's so many simple things, but I'm not the creepy person. Like, I like fun ghosts, that kind of little witches and things like that.
Everyone has different levels of the creepiness they're willing to.
I'm easily creeped out. But I want to show too, if your kids are like, they just want to start participating in things, again, stickers.
Easy. Yeah.
You add stickers to fun little, you know, this is like a creamer box. So I spray painted it black. Perfect. You can take a puncher, put a bunch of holes in it, stick kids and stickers.
By the way, Leanne's Facebook page, she posted it yesterday. You'll see some really cool candles that she's done as well. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah. So Leanne Lacroix and Associates on Facebook. Follow her if you're not following her already. We'll be back with more Daytime, talking to the Ottawa Little Theatre coming up right after this.
Sports and recreation clubs, got an upcoming event you want to share? Get the word out with Rogers TV Channel 22. Our community billboard service is free for all local events. Whether it's a fundraiser, festival, or fun run, we're here to help you spread the word. Visit rogerstv.com/communitybillboard to submit your event details today. Let's make your event a huge success with Rogers TV Channel 22. But there's more, right, Dave?
That's right, Jillian. Attention charity and volunteer organizations. Do you have a special event coming up? Share your message with the entire community on Rogers TV Channel 22. Our community billboard service is free for all community events, whether it's a service, fundraiser, or community outreach. We've got you covered. Visit rogerstv.com/communitybillboard to submit your event details today. Let's spread the word and bring our community together with Rogers TV Channel 22.
On Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. Changing gears to talk a little theater and the Ottawa Little Theater. I know we've had them on the show a couple of times this year, but I have to remind you, celebrating their 111th season. It's absolutely incredible. And although it's community theater, you go and watch one of these shows and I mean, it is so professionally done. The productions that they put on are top-notch, world-class productions. And their latest is called Guilty Conscience. Here to tell us more about it, I'm joined by David McIntyre and Melissa Raftis. Welcome to the show. Great to have you both. Oh, a pleasure, a pleasure. How's the season been going? Let me start there, David. I mean, 111th season. This is every season special, but wow, it just amazes me how long we've been around now.
Yeah, it's going strong. It continues to go strong. They've got a great team there, a great organization. They really know what they're doing, and they're very passionate and committed to it.
How did you get involved with Ottawa Little Theater?
I've done shows with other community groups, and it's a pretty small community, as it were. So just people tell me about it. They suggest maybe I'd enjoy doing a certain show, and you go out and people invite you into the fold.
Nice. Yeah. Melissa, how about yourself? How did you get involved with OLT?
I got involved last year. I did theater when I was much younger, and after the pandemic just realized I missed it so much, and I went out and auditioned, and this community's just sucked me in, and now they can't get rid of me. I'm really enjoying it.
Way to go, community. I love it. Tell me about the audition process. What was that like for you?
The audition process for me is always nerve-wracking, but our director, Ian Gillies, really puts everyone at ease and gives everyone a shot to go up there and do their thing, and a couple chances to read some sides and get some characters, and it's always a good process.
So David, like when you do an audition, do you pick a particular piece? Do they give you something? What does that look like exactly?
You're usually reading from the show that you're auditioning for.
Okay.
I like to do my best to track down the script and get familiarize myself with it beforehand. This one was tough, so that was a bit tough to find, so it was a bit more nerve-wracking, but yeah.
Tell me about this particular production, Melissa. How would you describe Guilty Conscience?
Ooh, Guilty Conscience takes place in the 70s. I play Louise Jameson, and Dave plays Arthur Jameson. We're a married couple, an upper-class married couple who really hate each other. Dave's character is plotting to kill me because I would like a divorce, and I have some information on him that means I could probably extort him, or as he says, blackmail him for some money. So it's a thriller. It's very suspenseful.
So are you you're a conniving character? Like
no, I'm an innocent.
Oh, we've all heard that before, David.
Conniving character.
I think she has a case.
Okay. Well, what about your character? How would you describe him?
He's an egotist, very, very arrogant, very full of himself. Not a very good husband, but highly intelligent. He's a high-powered defense lawyer in New York, so good at what he does, but not good at relationships.
Melissa, the gentleman that wrote this play, I mean, you're talking top-notch here, right?
Yeah, so there's two men that wrote this play, also wrote Columbo, if you're familiar with Columbo.
I'm familiar with Columbo, come on.
Credits on Murder, She Wrote, I believe. So so if you like that kind of suspense, edge of your seat, keep the audience guessing, nothing's really quite as it seems, this is the play for you.
You mentioned that it takes place in the 70s, so how do you bring that ambiance and atmosphere of the 70s to stage?
Oh, our set designers have just done an incredible job of bringing the Jameson living room to life. The couches, the decor, the costume design, hair and makeup. So there's all sorts of ways. And then, of course, with the characters, we're sort of living in a gritty time in New York. So even though they're upper class, they kind of have that edge to them, I think, as well.
David, one of the characters, my understanding is, normally would be played by one particular cast member, but it's been spread out to 3 cast members. Can you just explain that unique process?
Yeah, well, the character is the prosecutor, and my character has a process where he tries out courtroom scenarios in his head when he's preparing for a case. So typically he has this one kind of folksy type of prosecutor that he likes to do, but for some reason in this case it's 3 women, actually, and it was originally written as a man. So I think they represent different sort of relationships and types that he's had in the past, and he is not prepared to deal with this new manifestation in his mind.
So is it just the 2 of you on stage most of the time? Like, sort of talk to me about the cast, Melissa.
Yeah, so there's the 2 of us, then there is a mistress character named Jackie, and then the 3 prosecutors. But I think Arthur's the only character that interacts with all of the other characters directly, because the prosecutors are in his mind.
Right.
And so there's 6 of us in the cast.
Okay. Mistress, David, tell me about this mistress of. Is it your mistress, I'm guessing?
Yes.
Okay.
In the play.
Tell me about. Yes, of course. Let's make that clear, everybody at home. Yes.
The character, she was working for Arthur, and he liked her, so he set her up with an apartment and a credit card, and kept it secret. And I think, like the other women in the show, he underestimates the mistress, and obviously he isn't nice to her either, and it doesn't go well for him with her either.
Melissa, for those that perhaps are interested in the theater, the world of theater in general, as you said, auditioning can sometimes be intimidating, but this is a real welcoming place, right? And then beyond just on stage, of course, there's a lot of opportunities behind the scenes, right?
Absolutely. The Ottawa Little Theatre is such a welcoming place, and if you've ever just were curious about auditioning, you can come out to the auditions. They list them on the Ottawa Little Theatre's website. You can just watch if you want, or when you're there, you'll probably end up wanting to just go up on stage and try it yourself. You'll see how relaxed of an environment it is. And if you aren't an onstage person, there's so many opportunities to volunteer in all sorts of roles at the Ottawa Little Theatre.
Thank you both. Really appreciate it. And break a leg. I'm allowed to say that. It's a theater thing, everybody at home. Guilty Conscience, Ottawa Little Theatre, October 30th until November the 16th, ottawalittletheatre.com to find out ticket information. We'll be back with more right after this.
Kids these days, people say we lack initiative.
And technology, that we're all addicted.
Kids these days, we hear that we only care about ourselves. Apparently, we're lazy.
And don't seem to have any sense of independence.
Actually, kids these days are facing a lot. Because the world has changed, and so have our health issues. Kids these days, we could really use your help. Join CHIO in our biggest fundraising campaign ever to transform pediatric care.
Are you a content creator looking to expand your audience and make your voice heard in your community? Rogers TV wants to provide you with a platform to share your hobbies, interests, and stories for free. Visit us to find out more.
I'm Sam LaPrade, and you're invited to join us for the next Hour to Give. We're going to talk all about Ottawa Salus and a very exciting campaign they have coming up, which you can get involved in. Join us then.
These days at your local Legion, we're marching to the beat of a different drum. On a mission to support veterans, to have fun, and to welcome everyone to our ranks. You don't have to be a veteran to join the Legion. And as a member, you'll join thousands of others serving our veterans, our communities, and our country. Oh yeah, and our Member Perks program will save you thousands on shopping, dining, products, and services across the country. Join us at legion.ca.
Hi, I'm Sam LaPrade, host of Ottawa Business Matters. We're going to gather here every single week and speak about business here in the capital. We're going to inspire, influence, and inform.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. Back to introduce you to a brand new book. It is called The Adventures and Misadventures of Antoine Leroy, and I am joined by both its author and one of the editors of the book. Richard Landerville is the author, and Michael Karp is the editor. Welcome, gentlemen. Great to have you here. So, Richard, is this based on your life story? Is that right?
It's
the inspiration
exactly my
behind
life.
it?
There's nothing wrong there. It's all true.
So, where does this book take us? Tell us a little bit about the book itself. How would you describe it?
I have no idea. I don't know. I was an airline pilot, and then I stopped doing that, and then I was a musician, and I had a theater company for a while. Then I went back to aviation, then went to live in Africa, flying little aircraft.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. How did you become a pilot?
Well, when I was after high school, I didn't know what to do. I wanted to be work on the stars, you know.
Okay.
And then because I had a kind of a good intelligence, you know, for an idiot, and so but then my friend says, instead of going to work and work hard, there's a airline pilot course in Chicoutimi. So I said, wow, okay, it will be very easy. It was not that easy though.
Oh, I can imagine, yeah. Becoming a pilot is certainly not easy. Michael, I want to bring you into this conversation. How did you connect with Richard, and why did you feel this was a compelling story?
Previously, I was a camera operator with James Cameron, and now I'm working for Netflix doing visual effects. And I have a very good friend named Penelope Doheny, and she's friends with Richard, and we decided to edit his manuscript, translated from French, about his exciting life as an aviator.
Yeah, and why did you think it would be a compelling story? I mean, there's many pilots in the world, right? And I'm sure, you know, we all have stories. Why did you think this was such a compelling story?
Well, it's really funny for them. I mean, there's the sad parts, you know, when he had a stroke, and it took him a couple of years to learn how to speak and remember the alphabet and everything. But there's just some very, very funny parts to it. You know, we've got little code names for each part, like the Weekend at Bernie's when he's got to fly the dead people around. And then there's a fake co-pilot. He didn't break any laws, but he had to take his girlfriend.
I cheated a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
He took his girlfriend and made the passengers think that she was actually a co-pilot, so they wouldn't be so nervous. So that's pretty funny.
I dressed her as a pilot, and I showed her how to hold a thing. She didn't know. She had never been in an airplane before.
So what would you, I mean, Michael just touched on a couple, but what would you say is perhaps the most interesting flight experience you've ever had?
Oh, whoa, that's different.
I'm sure that's tough, but I mean, any one of them like that comes to mind to you.
Well, when I went and one day I was in Africa flying a 9-passenger aircraft, and they asked me to go. There was very big accident, and the people were very sick, so I brought them an hour and a half further to a hospital. And then they called me the next day and say, hey, come and pick them up. They're finished. Okay, so we go, land, and then they were in the grass, you know, lying down, sleeping. So, okay, I go and try to wake them up. No, they were dead. They just wanted me to bring them back to their village. Like, so fuck. Okay, so we sat them in each side. We put their seat belt on, and we went. They didn't disturb us much during the flight, though. You know.
I wonder why. So, what was the most interesting destination that you've ever flown to?
Oh, that's a different. I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer to that. I've been so many places in the world. I've never been in Asia much, you know, except Dubai. But I liked everything. You know, for example, what I liked, for many years as a captain at Air Transat, I was just asking, you know what? Every week, I'll just go spend 2 days in Paris and come back. That's all because you don't have to fly a lot. It's an easy job.
Really? Do you honestly believe that? For yourself? Yeah, I didn't think so. I didn't think so.
But once you're there, you know, because I fake a lot of things in my life, you know. Like when I got hired there at Air Transat, I basically fake a lot of stuff, you know, saying, oh, yeah.
You know, Michael had mentioned you had a stroke. It would
Yes.
take me back to that, and what was that experience like for you?
Well, when I had my stroke, 5 weeks, I don't remember anything.
Okay.
My short-term memory was 0. And then it took me, you know, a year and a half to relearn to read and write and talk. Yeah, that was, but you know, when I was 15 years old, I dive in the water in a lake, and I broke 3 of my vertebrae, and actually died. You know, I was in the water, and you know, I know, be careful, I don't believe in God, which is fine. Some people can, it's just I don't, because I went to school. But, no, bad joke. And then I broke my tree, and I was in the water, and then my other body went over my real body, and then it went like in the movies, you know, you go towards the light like this, for a long time. Yeah, I lived that. And then at a point, it's like somebody took me by the back and put me back into the my body.
So you had an outer body experience?
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Yeah, I went all the way, like in the movies. Yeah, I did that.
Do you think this could be a movie?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's part of a TV series. I'm writing right now a TV series because I think there's a lot of good stuff, you know.
Well, Michael, you're from the film industry yourself. Do you see this as potentially
Yes, we're doing the structure. I've read some other screenplays, and this one we're working on right now.
Oh, that's exciting. Very exciting. Well, thank you both. I'm going to just show this to everybody at home. They can get this on Amazon, right? It's available on Amazon. Yes. So Amazon.com. It's called The Adventures and Misadventures of Antoine Leroy. We'll be back to wrap things up right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Join us for season 4 of Simply Cooking by Chef, Sunday nights at 8 o'clock, right here on Rogers TV.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
This week on Canada Files, a true Canadian hero, Rick Hansen. How he took a personal tragedy and made it into a lifelong mission for people with disabilities.
Learn all about the creation of the National Capital Region on The History of Ottawa, according to Phil Jenkins, on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show, Richard. What an interesting character. By the way, another part of the book that you'll find out about Richard's life. I mean, it seems like he's lived so many different lives. I mean, he's lived lives of you know, near poverty, and then at the same time he hung out with sort of the who's who of the world in many different instances. So again, the book is called The Adventures and Misadventures of Antoine Leroy. You can get that on Amazon, of course, and you can visit Michael's website as well. I want to remind you, Shireen from Sublime Med Spa, she has her CO2 lift carboxy mask clinic that is coming up on November the 14th. You can find out more information at sublimemedispa.com. Of course, you have to register beforehand, so make sure you visit the website, and encourage you to follow Shireen's Instagram account as well to see a lot of those before and afters. It'll just blow your mind. Guilty Conscience, Ottawa Little Theatre, their latest production in their 111th season, October 30th until November the 16th. So lots of opportunities to go and check it out. There are some evening, and I believe there's a couple of matinee shows. OttawaLittleTheatre.com for that. Thanks so much for watching this edition of Daytime. We'll see you next time.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
I'm Paula Roy, and it's my pleasure to welcome you back into my kitchen for another season of Paula Roy's Favorite Foods. My approach to food is pretty straightforward. Fancy is fine, but when you're in a time crunch or have a really hungry and patient family to feed, I say simple recipes made with wholesome ingredients that you probably have on hand are the best. And that's exactly what you'll find on Paula Roy's Favorite Foods on Rogers TV.
This is a brain in urgent need of mental health care. But because